guys, it's Colin from Collywood Studios, and today I will be reviewing Fly the Great Nor'easter, located at Morey's Piers in Wildwood, New Jersey. Now, in case you are wondering, this coaster is a Vekoma SLC model, and it was built in 1995, where it was originally called the Great Nor'easter, and colored with red track and red supports until 2007, and the track was completely repainted and the ride was overhauled with brand new trains to be called Fly the Great Nor'easter. And then after 2007, in the 2016-2017 off-season, 90% of the roller coaster's track was replaced and the trains were also replaced, changing the color scheme yet again to, this time, white track and light blue supports, which I think looks really cool. Now, I just rode this coaster very recently, only over Memorial Day weekend, and I have to say, I was very underwhelmed with it. I had never ridden a Vekoma SLC before this, and I knew they weren't going to be that great, but I was expecting Fly the Great Nor'easter to be much better because Morey's Piers had just redone it. But I was wrong. The ride was still rough. It was not very fun. The roughness really took away from it, but it's probably not as rough as the usual SLC due to the trains being much different than the normal SLC and the track being brand new Vekoma track, which isn't as bad as it used to be. And the ride restraints, to be honest, it kind of crushed my arms. I had no arm room. And one part that's kind of scary about it, if you were to put your legs out, they would probably get crushed by the car in front of you, which really kind of got me a little worried. Anyways, so getting into the stats are the height is 115 feet tall, the drop is 95 feet, reaching a maximum speed of 55 miles an hour, which isn't too terrible, but it's nothing to shout at, yet nothing to be amazed by. Next, you will then fly into a rollover, followed by a couple bank turns, and then into a sidewinder, and then will then fly into a couple bank turns, which go around the entrance. After that, you will go into a double inline twist, which I have to say, it wasn't as rough as the rest of the ride. To be honest, the only rough part of the ride were some of the bank turns and the first drop. Other than that, the inversions were perfectly smooth. And just keep in mind, I rode this coaster in the second seat and the back seat. So I had two almost completely different experiences. Anyways, after the double inline twist, you will turn into a bank turn where you will then do a little weird element and then into the brake run. And something interesting to mention about this coaster, the brake run is actually different than your typical SLC. Morey's Piers had customized the brake run and how you get into the station. I'm not exactly sure why they needed to, but it's a cool touch. Now getting into the actual review of it. The length of the coaster is 2,170 feet, making a duration of 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Now getting into the actual review of the coaster, I thought it was not very good. I wouldn't say it's the worst ride at Morey's Piers. I think maybe Rolly's coaster deserves that title because it's just so boring. But this ride, it's not very good. And for my final score of this coaster, I would rate it a 3 out of 10. It's not that good of a ride. I mean, it has the stats, it has a cool layout. I mean, it has everything going for it. It's rough. It's just so rough. And sometimes the roughness is unbearable. I cannot take it. So that will be the end of this review. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next video.